As we all know, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Can get pretty expensive.
But here at Team APS, we like to make it rain!
Our budget for this video.
10 decks under $50? Let's go.
Deck number 1 is Orcas.
The Dark Instruments.
Yes, they came from Soul Fusion, they're a World Legacy archetype, and it's another Link deck, you know, go figure. What they kind of all do.
I know they can use like Armageddon and Dark Grepher, right?
Yeah, for now. Not sure for how much longer, but
yeah, we need that ban list.
You want to pitch these monsters to the graveyard, and then they can banish themselves from the graveyard to summon more Orcas from your deck, or your hand, or your grave, and let you flood the field to make their Link monsters. And the Link monsters gain different amounts of protection. There's like a Link 2 that can't be destroyed by battle, Link 3 can't be destroyed by card effects, Link 4's got both. And the best part about this deck is that it's really very affordable.
Yeah, all the cards, all the monsters, I think they're just commons and rares, right?
Right, and they've got like a secret rare that's like $1 or $2, you know, an ultra rare it's $1 or $2.
We've got one of those.
Yeah, you can technically afford it.
The second deck is Phantom Knights, the Dark Warrior archetype that can banish themselves from a graveyard and get search effects.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. I've seen them combined with Burning Abyss, I've seen them combined with Orcas recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, it's a lot. And they've got good extra deck monsters. They've got Breaksword, right?
Yeah, pop one of yours, pop one of your opponents.
And they got a Link monster. Rusty Bardic just came out in Legendary Hero decks.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, Rusty Bardic is basically, it lets you send a Phantom Knight from your deck to the grave, which is huge, to set a Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck, like Fog Blade, kind of one of the better, you know, trap cards in the game.
True that, true that.
And they recently got reprinted in Legendary Hero decks,
so we can all have them.
Deck number 3 is Prank Kids.
They're the new like Link fusion deck coming out of Hidden Summoners.
Yeah, so the Prank Kids monsters, all the main deck monsters, whenever you use them to make their fusion monsters or their Link monsters, they actually summon another Prank Kid from the deck. Currently they've got 3 of them. I think they're getting a 4th one soon. So they've got like a fire, a water, a wind, and they're gonna be getting an earth.
Earth, wind, and fire.
And the big monsters have like a bunch of different effects.
They can like tribute themselves to do a thing.
Yeah, like one's Raigeki, one's like Harpy's Feather Duster. It has a quick effect, which is pretty cool.
I think I've even seen people combine it with decks like Thunder Dragons, right?
Yeah, I have. And all of the big guys can also float back the small ones. So whenever they get destroyed by your opponent's card effects, you'll get like 2 Prank Kids back. Kind of just get to repeat the strategy over and over and over again.
So it's kind of a grindy advantage-based deck.
I also really like the art.
The 4th deck is Heroes, formerly known as E-Heroes, Destiny Heroes, Evil Heroes, but now they're just Heroes.
Yeah, thanks to Stratos being unbanned, this deck can actually thrive. It can actually play as a pretty pure hero thing, right?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of new heroes that have come out, like Solid Guy.
Yeah, and Solid Guy, Blaze Guy, Vion. Yeah, and of course you can still use things like Bubble Man and Malicious. It's very easy to just flood the field with heroes, use Mass Chain, things like that.
And they still can use Isold.
Yeah, and you can just make Dark Law. It's kind of what we're used to.
Yeah, totally awesome.
Yeah, combine the 2 together, and like, you know, Master Hero Anki. Deck number 5 is Element Sabers.
The other elemental deck.
Yeah, they came out earlier this year, and their thing is that they can actually change their elements in the graveyard, their attributes.
That enables them to summon the elemental lords like Mulan Glacier and Grand Soil.
Yeah, and this deck all kind of comes together with the field spell. It not only lets you search your Element Sabers from your deck to your hand, it also gives them attack boosts, and the most important part is that, so normally your Element Sabers have to send other Element Sabers and stuff from their hand to the grave to activate their effects.
What's card advantage? I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but because of the field spell, you can actually send them from your deck instead, which saves you card advantage, loads your grave, and allows you to use your lords much more easily.
My favorite part about the deck is you don't just have to use lords with these attribute switching effects. You can even use Dark Armed or even BLS.
Yeah, so the deck has access to a lot of great boss monsters, but the best part is the price, because all these cards very, very cheap.
So cheap, I mean, people forgot they came out.
Yeah, like me.
Deck number 6 is Zombie World Zombies, or Zombie Horde Zombies, or the Zombie Apocalypse, or the Walking
Buy
Dead.
3 of the new structure deck, is what it is.
Basically.
Right?
It's really cool because we get to utilize Zombie World in a way we've never been able to do before.
Yeah, it's finally searchable, like in an easy way.
Easily searchable. They have a big boss monster who works in tandem with Zombie World to negate cards and to banish cards.
That's Baller Drop, right?
Yes.
Hope I'm saying that correctly.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, this is really great. You can buy 3 copies of the structure deck and actually have a totally viable deck.
Yeah, it comes with everything you need.
I actually saw at some event recently, somebody actually like maybe topped or did really well with this deck.
Yeah, and I remember looking at that profile. He ran basically 3 of everything.
Deck number 7 is Crusadia.
The new World Legacy deck from Cybernetic Horizon.
Yes, this is a very popular one. I've actually seen it at lots of locals. The way that it works is you can summon any of your monsters to a zone a link monster points to.
And the link monsters will gain attack depending on how many things they're pointing to.
Simple enough, but it gets a little bit crazy because you can kind of OTK your opponent with this deck.
Just real quick.
Yeah, there are ways to like get double damage and increase the monster's attack, and they can even tech kaijus into the deck.
Oh no.
You just get rid of your opponent's monster, you can just put it in whatever zone your link monster is going to point to, and then you just get astronomical attack points. It's crazy.
And you know what's the craziest part about it? You're doing it in style. They've got great artwork.
And for a very great price, if I have to be completely honest. I mean, like 1 ultra rare out of the whole archetype.
Yeah.
A lot of commons, a lot of rares.
You can buy a box and you'll get the deck. Number 8 is Noble Knights. I mean, we know how they work.
Yeah, lots of equip spells and warriors.
The deck I sold supposed to be used in.
Here's hoping they can use her for longer. Anywho, they got support recently. Pretty cool, right? It actually helped the deck a lot though. Like they got a Rhoda.
More consistency. Like they will make their play one way or another.
They got a hand trap too, kind of wild.
Their own on-theme hand trap.
What I like about this deck though is that yes, it's a protect the tower deck and some people don't really like that, but this is a really, really good way to steal a game from an opponent. Because if you can't deal with like the big boss,
Orcas.
then like
High King?
Yeah, there's like 2.
Yeah, there's 2 Orcas and 1 of the new guy.
Yeah, Custonin. And they, I mean, if you can't get rid of them, like, they'll just kill you.
Yeah, because you have to get rid of them and make sure they don't come back.
Yeah, and that's a real problem. And this deck actually does everything super well now. The best part, though, is that all the cards are actually really easy to get.
Yeah, even the old cards, which were hard to get, they were replayed in Relentless Revenge.
Deck number 9 is Gravekeepers.
The truly retro anti-meta deck.
Yeah, this is Necro Rally. You guys kind of know what it all does, but they did recently get some support.
They got Necro Valley Thrones, which is a double summon and a Rhoda.
Yeah, and they also get new trap that like lowers your opponent's monster's attack and like can get, you know, Necro Valley back from the deck.
The Beat Stick fusion.
They got Headman who can actually summon your monsters from the grave, which is good for recouping advantage. And it's cheap.
Yep. They've got plenty of support over the years.
Yeah, lots of reprintings, and the new cards are not high rarity at all.
Deck number 10 is the Nordic deck, or the Acer deck, whatever you want to call it.
Recently reprinted in Legendary Hero decks, so very easy to get as well.
It's out of left field, but we got a new Link monster, Golveg.
And its effect lets you send Nordic monsters, you banish them, and you can summon like 3 from your deck. And you get to make your gods really easily.
Yeah, the deck already had like 1 or 2 ways to easily make a god, and she's like, and here's 1 more.
It's just like here, just have your material from the deck. And it can still use all the stuff it was able to before. Rescue Cat's like a really big card in there.
You can still use the goats.
Yeah, and of course the gods are still really big beat sticky boss monsters that can come back.
Yeah, they don't go away long. And not to mention, she's a Link 1.
Yeah, so it's like there's no effort in summoning her. I actually love this deck. It's really cool.
Those are our 10 decks for under $50.
Yes, and the best part is there are plenty more of these. Let us know down in the comments what other cheap decks that you've built, decks that you are interested in trying out.
And before you argue with us, we're talking about cores. We're not talking about buying your hand traps too.